Hello! Today, we will solve a question from the TOEFL reading section, focusing on the complete the words question type. We will practice identifying the main idea, tracking key details, understanding cause-effect relationships, and noticing repeated concepts so we can choose the most accurate answer based strictly on the passage. Welcome back, TOEFL students. Get ready to sharpen your reading skills as we tackle a complete the words question. This question type is a fantastic way to improve your vocabulary and your ability to use context clues, which are essential skills for the entire TOEFL exam. Let's jump right in and see how we can master this challenge together. To keep building your skills for test day, be sure to subscribe to my TOEFL for more lessons and strategies. Let's continue working together toward your score goals. All right, let's start with the first sentence of our paragraph. This sentence has no blanks, so its job is to set the scene and introduce the main topic. Pay close attention to the details it gives us, as they will be the clues we need to solve the puzzles in the next sentences. Think of it as the foundation for our understanding. In the medieval port city of Aden, traders from Africa and Asia met to exchange goods and stories. This opening sentence is packed with important information. First, it tells us where and when the story takes place. The medieval port city of Aden. This immediately creates a historical and geographical setting. It also introduces the main characters, traders from Africa and Asia, and explains their primary activity. They met to exchange goods and stories. Knowing that the paragraph is about historical trade in a port city will be a huge help when we need to figure out the missing words later on. Now, we're going to do something a little strategic. We're going to skip the second and third sentences for a moment, because those are the ones with all the missing words. It's much easier to fill in the blanks when you understand the full context of the paragraph. So, let's read the rest of the passage first, and then we'll circle back to solve the puzzle with all the clues in hand. Okay, let's jump to the fourth sentence. This sentence will likely give us more information about the city of Aden, building on the ideas from the first sentence. Listen for details that describe what made the city special or important, as this will add more layers to our understanding of the topic. The city became famous for its cultural diversity and lively festivals that attracted travelers every season. This sentence adds more color to our picture of Aden. It tells us the result of all this trade and interaction. The city became famous. And what was it famous for? Two things: its cultural diversity and its lively festivals. These details reinforce the idea that Aden was a busy, international hub. The phrase, attracted travelers, further confirms that it was a popular and important place. This helps us build a mental image of a vibrant, bustling city. And now for the final sentence. The last sentence of a paragraph often gives a conclusion or explains the modern-day importance of the topic. Let's listen to see how it wraps up the story of Aden and connects its past to the present. Today, historians study Aden to understand how maritime networks shaped regional economies and daily urban life. This concluding sentence brings us to the present day. It explains the significance of Aden by telling us that historians study Aden. And why do they study it? To understand how maritime networks shaped regional economies. This connects the specific story of Aden to a bigger academic concept. It confirms that the entire paragraph is about trade, economy, and city life in a historical port. Now that we have the full context, we are ready to go back and fill in those blanks. All right, we have a great understanding of the paragraph's theme now. Let's go back to the second sentence and solve the first blank. We'll use all the context we've gathered about trade and port cities to find the right word. Many merc would. The question provides the letters M, E, R, and C, and we need to fill in the remaining 5 blanks. The sentence talks about many people who were involved in the activities of the port. The first sentence already introduced us to traders. A very similar word for a trader, especially in a historical context, is a merchant. The provided letters M, E, R, C fit perfectly. Therefore, the complete word is merchants. Great. Let's move to the next blank in the same sentence. We need to figure out the action that the merchants were performing. Listen to how the word connects the merchants to what comes next. Many merchants would, small. The question provides the letter U, and we have 2 blanks to complete. The sentence says, merchants would, and then we have a blank, followed by small. The word would is a modal verb. which means it needs to be followed by a base verb. What action would merchants perform with small items to facilitate trade? Considering the given letter U, the most logical verb is use. Excellent work. Now for the third blank. The sentence mentions that merchants would use small something. Let's figure out what that item is, keeping in mind the theme of trade and economy. Many merchants would use small coal too. The question gives us the letters C and O, and we need to fill three blanks. We know merchants would use small things for trade. What small, valuable items starting with CO are used in commerce? The answer is clearly coins. This fits perfectly with the idea of exchanging goods in a marketplace. We're on a roll. The next word is a verb that describes what the merchants did with the coins. Think about the main purpose of the city of Aden as described in the first sentence. Many merchants would use small coins to tran spices, textiles, and rare stones in the busy. The question provides the letters T and R, and we need to complete the three remaining blanks. The sentence says they used coins to do something with spices, textiles, and rare stones. The first sentence mentioned that traders met to exchange goods. A direct synonym for this action that starts with TR is trade. This word perfectly describes the activity. Fantastic. Now, where would this trading take place? The next blank describes the location within the busy city. Let's use the context to pinpoint the exact place. Many merchants would use small coins to trade spices, textiles, and rare stones in the busy mark near the main. The question gives us the letters M, A, and R, and there are three blanks to fill. The sentence describes a busy place where people trade goods like spices and textiles. A common place for this activity, especially one that starts with MAR, is a market. This fits the scene of a bustling medieval city perfectly. Almost done with this sentence. The market is located near the main something. Given that Aden is a port city, what is the most important feature of a port? Many merchants would use small coins to trade spices, textiles, and rare stones in the busy market near the main har. The question provides the letters H, A, and R, and we need to fill the last three blanks. The text establishes that Aden is a port city. The central feature of any port is its harbor, where ships arrive and depart. The letters HAR point directly to the word harbor. A busy market near the main harbor makes perfect sense. Okay, let's move on to the third sentence and its first blank. This sentence introduces new people involved in the city's activities. We need to find a word that describes a type of worker. Skilled trans workers and young. The question gives us the letters T, R, A, and N, and there are five blanks to complete. The sentence mentions skilled workers who moved heavy silver boxes. The action of moving goods from one place to another is called transport. Therefore, the word describing these workers is transport. Skilled transport workers are people whose job is to move cargo. Next up, we have another descriptive word. This one describes the young helpers. Think about where these helpers would likely come from in the city of Aden. Skilled transport workers and young, low helpers moved heavy. The question provides the letters L and O, and we have three blanks to fill. The sentence contrasts skilled transport workers with young helpers. It's very common for ports and markets to employ helpers from the surrounding area. A word that means from the area and starts with LO is local. Young local helpers makes perfect sense in this context. All right, we're getting close to the end. The next blank describes the type of boxes that were being moved. The context suggests something valuable was being traded. Skilled transport workers and young local helpers moved heavy sill boxes while artists created. The question gives us the letters S, I, and L, and we need to complete the final three blanks. The sentence says the workers moved heavy boxes. We already know that rare stones were traded. A valuable material often used for boxes or traded as a commodity, which starts with SIL, is silver. Heavy silver boxes fits the theme of valuable goods being moved in a busy port. Here we are, the final blank. This word describes what the artists created for their noble visitors. Think about what artists produce. Skilled transport workers and young local helpers moved heavy silver boxes, while artists created a for visiting nobles. The question provides the letter A, and we have two blanks to fill. The sentence mentions artists created for visiting nobles. What is the general term for what artists create? It's art. The letters A and the two blanks fit perfectly with the word art. This detail adds to the picture of Aden as a center of culture as well as commerce. Great job working through all 10 words.